A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, before Archaon and the Warriors of Chaos had their rework, and Dorgar was transformed into a majestic steed, a separate timeline bore corrupt fruit, and Everchosens went to war. Be'lakor, the father in shadow to one Daedric Kastner, flexed his wings and descended from the world beyond in a bid to claim the Crown of Domination. Today, we settle once and for all who the true Everchosen is, as the Dark Master and the Lord of the End Times do battle under the watchful gaze of the ruinous powers. The Champions of Chaos embargo will drop on the 16th, but first, Archaon has some daddy issues he needs to sort out. Remember, this was recorded a long time ago, before the animation and horse updates, but it was a pretty awesome battle, so I couldn't let it go to waste. The Slayer of Kings and Lore of Fire will accompany our Dark Hero into the Wastes, alongside the Crown of Domination, for immune to Psych in an AoE, but Be'lakor has ways to bypass that, and this may yet be Archie's toughest challenge yet. For the build this time, it's two chosen with sword and board, all blacked out in their new color scheme. They should be able to hold the line against anything that demons can throw at them with their 60 melee defense. Very tanky, and they hit back pretty well also. And the Soul of Damnation Hell Cannon, which fires so fast it can create a creeping barrage all by itself. Dealing magic damage, pretty good against demons. Summoners of Rage Dragon Ogres patrol in the rear, ready to drop a Chain Lightning. Their mass and bonus for Slorge might be what's required to bring down Be'lakor the Beast. Then a bunch of Marauders, Marauder Horsemen, and Poison Warhounds for some chaff, chase, and skirmish potential. So, nice eclectic mix here. Across the snows come the armies of Be'lakor the Dark Master, the Bearer, who comes with gifts of Ulgu, and some nasty abilities across the board. You know them well at this point. He has a huge HP pool base, and feeds off the fear of mortals to push it even further. Not a demon to be trifled with, and in a straight 1v1 with Archaon, I don't think there's any question that he can defeat him. He's got about 30% more HP, and regen. Both those things are elements that Archaon is lacking. Joining his horde is a Keeper of Secrets, Blue Horrors, Bloodletters, and Demonettes with Fleshhounds on the flanks, and a unit of Nurglings Vanguard deployed ahead of the main force. So every single Chaos God represented here for the Demons of Chaos, and also got some Heartseekers out on the flank with the Fleshhounds too. It can be a major threat to pretty much anything on the Warriors of Chaos roster when used well. So get ready. Father and son have some demons to exercise, and Archaon will start with the Keeper of Secrets. Overcast Fireball, very good against their low armor and large hitbox. 1,000 damage right off the bat. Not a bad way to start the battle. Now, if you're Archaon in this scenario, dealing with the Greater Demon of Slaanesh is top priority. There's literally no possible way to focus Be'lakor down and kill him. He'll have his pick of engagements and where to drop his magic no matter what. There's no real way to zone him out, so you ignore him for now and get the other duelist off the field first, then you can focus on Daddy Demon. While those fireballs are poking and prodding, the Hell Cannon can start clearing the infantry off the field, with Bloodletters and Demonettes a top priority on that front. Both those units come in loose formation, so not quite as devastating as it would be against the more regimented factions like the High Elves, which frankly I've always thought was very stupid. There's no tangible benefit to having tightly packed, ordered formations, but there sure are a hell of a lot of downsides to it, like getting blown up by artillery and spells. Either way, demons are closing the gap quick, because the Soul of Damnation hurts right now. Another scorching fireball from Archaon on its way, as the Heartseekers move out to the flank and look for some openings on their sensual Tyrannosaurs. Keeper is feeling the pain from these magic missiles, already lost a fourth of its health, but at this point, probably going to say screw it and go in. There's no cover here, there's no forest, there's no trees to block those fireballs. Might as well go in and get whatever damage you can. Melee about to begin in earnest. Hell Cannon continuing to rain fire like the Sanctuary 2, but hasn't been utterly game-changing yet anyway, despite its fast fire rate. It is banishing some of its brethren back to the warp though. The damage it's unleashing is not negligible. Bloodletters and Demonettes have felt its effects so far, and now the Keeper has joined the fray, and it has such sights to share with these Marauders. Be up to Archaon whether he chooses to continue plunking away with fireballs, which is working pretty well so far, or move in for the kill, maybe with a Slayer of Kings and Flaming Sword of Ruin. Bloodletter Charge touching home at the exact same time. They should be able to cut their way through Marauders quite quickly, and with the poison debuff affecting those Marauders as well, it's going to get even more lopsided. But remember that Chosen are waiting on the wings, and they should be able to beat even Bloodletters 1v1, although ideally you don't want to let your Chosen get straight up charged like those are about to. Summoners of Rage moving out to the flank. Poison Warhounds and Marauder Horsemen out there as well as the Fleshhounds and Heartseekers begin to give chase. Archaon is moving his way over to the Greater Demon of Slaanesh, and the Chosen will take the full brunt of that Bloodletter charge, so of course these Bloodletters will trade upwards. Lesser Demons of Khorne have bonus versus infantry and armor piercing, but Chosen should be able to hold the line there. And with a Flaming Sword of Ruin or any kind of buff spell on the Chosen, that should be even more lopsided in the Warriors of Chaos' favor. Dorgar, Pony of the Apocalypse, making his way over, and yes indeed, a Flaming Sword of Ruin to give him magic attacks to side through the physical resistance of the demon as Be'lakor comes in from behind. This could get ugly, but Cascading Fire Cloak and Slayer of Kings both activated as well, and Archaon stats are just far surpassing the Greater Demon of Slaanesh. It has no hope in a duel unless Be'lakor decides to land. We'll see if he does. It looks like he's descending from the heavens now. Needs some support. Summoners of Rage would love to be over here, but aren't going to be able to help. Archaon has to retreat from this scenario. If he doesn't, he's going to die really quick. But look at how fast that Keeper of Secrets dropped in health. That was an incredible engagement from Archaon, and Be'lakor perhaps needlessly popped his Shadow Shroud, which means the 40% ward save isn't really going to help because Archaon doesn't want to fight him anyway. He got all the damage he needed on that Keeper of Secrets, almost killed it, and didn't take too much in return. Meanwhile, Summoners of Rage engaging Demonettes and the Heartseekers out on the flank. They are supported by the Poison Warhounds, who look like they might be routing off right now, but should return momentarily. And that bonus versus large and magical attacks, allowing them to hold down that entire flank and rack up some really good value against the elite cavalry of the Dark Prince. Keeper of Secrets in the center, trying to turn the fight against the Chosen with the help of the Bloodletters, who are crumbling out now. Few shots coming in from the Blue Horrors of Tzeentch, but it looks like the Bloodletters will disappear and Chosen will do their job. They took a lot of damage to those Lesser Demons of Khorne. Summoners of Rage are holding on for now. Pit of Shades on two Marauder Cav that try to stop the Bloodletters from getting in on top of the Hell Cannon. Total Damnation Chaos Dwarf crew might need to flee here from the Nurglings. And now Archaon and Be'lakor are fighting, but Dorgar is doing the right thing, trying to get away from the Greater Demon. He cannot take this fight. Slayer of Kings is on cooldown, and meanwhile, he's hunting. He is the sole reason that Keeper of Secrets is about to crumble out, and one more hit will be all that is required. Greater Demon of Slaanesh banished back to the void as a huge, whatever the hell this thing is called, I never remember, the huge bombardment spell that both Tzeentch and the Demons of Chaos have access to comes down from above, and it's got a one-shot Chosen. They were full HP, they now have slivers of health remaining. It's a pretty big loss for the Warriors of Chaos, but of course, losing a Keeper of Secrets is a pretty big loss for the Demons of Chaos as well. So, all the while, we are working our way towards a final fateful duel between father and son, between Archaon the Everchosen and Be'lakor the Dark Master. Right now, the Soul of Damnation crew is getting sliced apart in the background by Nurglings and by Be'lakor. Summoners of Rage are being overwhelmed by the Fleshhounds of Khorne, and the remnants of these Demonettes who are also crumbling, and a Bloodletter charge from behind will probably cause this monstrous cavalry to rout from the field. Archaon and the Chosen are coming over to support, and actually, Summoners are holding on for now. They might just survive that engagement. Marauders coming in, and that Pit of Shades may pay some dividends in the late game too, because the Marauder Cav probably lost a decent amount of models from it, certainly lost a lot of HP, and they might need that focus fire to help bring down Be'lakor. Is looking really healthy right now, but all the Cav has returned. Decent amount of infantry remaining on the Warriors of Chaos side as well. Demonettes chasing after the Marauders, who are running away, as they should. They're going to turn around just in time so the Demonettes don't get all their flanking bonuses. And Marauder Cav, running over Nurglings, may decide to go for a hammer and anvil on the light armor of these Lesser Demons of Slaanesh. But now Be'lakor is in the thick of it, and he's a terror. Always has been, always will be. Soul of Damnation, realizing that Be'lakor is by far the biggest threat, even though it's not really designed to kill single entity monsters. It's really the only reliable source of damage they have on it right now, besides Archaon and the Summoners of Rage. Lord of Torment is active at the moment. Archaon dropping the Flaming Sword, and with the full surround off on Be'lakor, Slayer of Kings active. This could be exactly what the Warriors of Chaos need to take Belly down to at least half HP or more if they can get a good engagement. But the Demonettes have fully swarmed the Summoners of Rage, and though they have flaming and magical attacks now, it's really going to hurt fighting all that armor piercing. You can see that their HP is dropping quite low, surrounded by all those armor piercing models. Archaon did not like that fight. He would have liked to stay on target for longer, but Be'lakor popped his Shadow Shroud, 40% ward save, and saw the Everchosen off, and he's gaining a pretty decent lead in terms of the health department, but he doesn't really have an army anymore. Just a few Demonettes remaining, a few Nurglings, and that is it. Chosen, Marauder Cav, Soul of Damnation, even the Summoners of Rage are still on the field for the Warriors of Chaos, and we can expect that the rest of these lesser demons will crumble out quite soon. Soul of Damnation whittling away at the Dark Master, who's down to 8,000 HP, is regenerating a little bit here, but I don't think that that Lord of Torment will be fully procced currently. And Archaon is just waiting for an opportunity. What he would really like to do is wait for the Dragon Ogres to return, and ideally, they won't just Terror Rout immediately upon closing into melee with him. Remember, his Chosen are not immune to Psychology. They'll only be conferred that when near the Everchosen himself. Crown of Domination would grant ITP. Problem is, Whispers in the Darkness then immediately removes it. So in that aspect, Be'lakor is a hard counter to what Archaon likes to do with his Chosen. And the only other way they can be conferred ITP is from the Mark of Slaanesh. And they don't have it here. So these Chosen are going to do what they can. But this is a hard fight. This is a very difficult fight. And we've seen so many scenarios where Be'lakor is last demon standing and manages to pretty much solo an army. But it's rare that he fights someone of this caliber. Cascading Fire Cloak, Flaming Sword of Ruin. Be'lakor is down to 4,700 health, and he is getting taken to Pound Town right now by the Slayer of Kings. But he was just granted Fecundity from the Nurgle army ability. Remember, the Demons of Chaos have access to all 4 mono gods and their abilities, and that heal could be just enough to keep him in the fight in what is a pretty terrible situation for even the Dark Master. And he is landing some attacks on Archaon right now. Archaon might need to back up. This is so close. A lot of wavering on both sides. Bounce Bar is in favor of Archaon and the Warriors of Chaos, but Archaon taken down to within a single hit, within a shred of his life. And if Be'lakor lands an attack here, this battle is over. That is the power of the Dark Master's dueling. Minus 40 melee attack, and then upgraded Enfeebling Foe. And he gave himself Occam's Mind Razor. Archaon's fleeing, but right now, this is just looking like Rexy chasing after the Jeep and Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. Unable to land an attack, and it looks like Archaon might be able to rally here as the rest of the army moves back in to protect the Soul of Damnation. So, Be'lakor deciding to go after the cannon instead. Archaon will return, but he should be able to finish off the Chaos Dwarf crew, and with the cannon silenced, it will once again all fall on Archaon the Everchosen's shoulders. And he only has 417 HP remaining, which means he is 1 hit from death. So you have to do some serious work. Fireball hitting Be'lakor, only dealing about 300, 350 damage. Dragon Ogres coming in for the full round, but they're going to shatter. They can't fight him. They're not able to. Every time they get close, they realize what a scary boy that Be'lakor is, and they're running. Even the Chosen now, with Cascading Fire Cloak for some melee defense, I'm not sure their leadership will hold up. I'm not sure it can hold up. But Be'lakor sees that the Crown of Domination and the man who wields it, Diedrich Kastner, Archaon the Everchosen, has returned. 394 hit points remaining. He will charge in. He does not have Slayer of Kings, I do not believe. Flaming Sword of Ruin. Here comes the duel to end all duels. Can Archie defy the gods? No. He's done. And Be'lakor is going to carry the day. That should be army losses momentarily. Really impressive showcase from Be'lakor the Dark Master. I think Fecundity might have saved his life. He may have been taken down into crumbling territory if that heal hadn't come through on the army abilities at the right time. Chosen no longer want any part of this. They saw their lord, their master, the end time harbinger. He fell, and if he falls, what the hell can Chosen do? And Be'lakor's just going to have his pick of litter. He's going to run around. He's going to regen. He's going to just stomp all over him, assert his dominance, and that is going to be your battle. Unless a single brave Dawi Zar can hold the line and defeat the demon. Do it for your mother and your father. Oh, okay, no. You tried your best. Oh my god, that was a crazy battle. So Be'lakor with about 1,500 HP remaining. That was it. That was the difference between win and loss. But, I mean, he lost his entire army. and then he pretty much soloed a third of Archaons. Now Archie had a great showing, 3,000 damage value. He got some huge hits on both Be'lakor and destroyed that Keeper of Secrets. I mean, I think that Keeper of Secrets is probably pretty happy with that, all things considered. They like getting dominated, and that was true domination from Archaon and the Eye of Shiri, and he straight up pooped all over that Keeper. His Chosen, one of them only got 500 value, mostly because he got blown up by that ridiculously powerful Zenith Bombardment spell. Soul of Damnation did great, 1600 value. Summoners of Rage held the Heartseekers at bay, beat up on the Demonettes. If they could have had a slightly cleaner engagement for slightly longer, where the Demonettes didn't have that full surround off on them while they were surrounding Be'lakor, they probably would have been able to kill him. I mean, as we saw, there was not much between those two forces. Give them another 5-10 seconds attacking in with a full surround off, where the Demonettes aren't biting into them. I think the Dragon Ogres probably could have carried that into the late game. Heartseekers, Demonettes, the Sinestov didn't do amazing, but the Bloodletters cut through the Chosen, did a lot of damage to them, and I really think most of this just came down to the strength of Be'lakor, his regen, and that Fecundity heal. But a really exciting battle between two Everchosens, and I think Be'lakor has proven he is the top dog.